Okay, hey guys. Kind of a treat, I guess you can call it. I'm helping out my buddy Joe. This is Crazy Joe's rig. He doesn't have time to do a rebuild, and it is bad need of one. Oh yeah, a little more light. I got some more light downstairs here now. Hopefully that's a much better picture than I've had before. Feels brighter, but I've been in it for a little while now. It's not new to me anymore, so I can't really tell how bright it is. But anyways, so Joe's rig. She's a little rough right there. That's pretty bad. Wow, that pin's got some slop. Let's see, there's too long of a screw there. I think these links were on backwards, but they're pretty messed up anyways. Chances are I'm gonna try and replace those with metal. I don't think these are supposed to be like that. I think that's supposed to be flipped around this way, but I never run links like this, so I don't know for sure. I might have to try that to see if I get better movement. He's got 3-link in the front. We'll see if we can't do something about that as well. So I just started taking the tires off, and I figured I might as well do a video. A couple of you guys like fixing and rebuild videos. Man, those tires are heavy. Those are the Boom Racing. Yeah, those bearings are toast too. Those are the Boom Racing high mass wheels. I have the smaller set, the 1.9, and the high mass as well. Wheel just loose. Excuse me. But yeah, I'm gonna crack into this sucker. I don't plan to run the camera the whole time because that'd be kind of boring, right? But man, those are heavy. I'm going to I'll turn it on every now and then if I notice something that is a good pointer for anyone about to do a rebuild and hasn't done one yet. I forget that there's always new guys joining the hobby, which is fantastic. But every now and then I get a question, it's like, how do you not know that? And I'm like, oh yeah, right, he could have started yesterday. Because it's a constantly growing sport, hobby, whatever you want to call it. Excuse me, I have to get some water. Or possibly a beer. Yeah, so anytime, what is that? 2150 kV 540 L series brushless motor. That's some serious power. Oh yeah, I'm going to do the tranny too. I don't know how bad it is. Actually, the tranny feels pretty good, but we'll crack into it, see what it needs. So, this side as well as that side, the screws that Joe had in it, I don't know if they're long enough. I'm going to have to go online and check it out. If you look, I don't know how much meat that's going to get in there, but it's stripped both sides. So I don't know if the housings are fucked or if the screw just wasn't long enough, but that's the first thing I've ran into. So far, that is a little disconcerting. I hate, well, stripped aluminum is bad, right? Sometimes you can tap out the hole with like a 3.5 or something like that and get a slightly larger screw, but now you're messing with different screw sizes in your truck, and then you're gonna I've never gotten to that point with anything. I've never only had one set of aluminum axles, which could be the next video or a couple down the road, because Relic is next for a rebuild. But yeah, possibly some stripped holes in there. Might need longer screws. Hopefully that fixes it. If not, Joe might need himself a new axle housing. It's one of the bad things about running the camera now and then is like you do something, like, oh, I wish I had the camera on for that. Still on the tear, just ripping apart the rear axle, just about ready to come out. I'll go remove the drive shaft, got that stupid screw out. Where did it go? Well, it's going in the garbage anyways, wherever it is now. I had to use a flathead to get the damn thing out. Damn it, where is it? Oh, well, it doesn't matter. Where was I? Oh yeah, you do things every now and then, it's like, oh god damn. I could barely get the shaft apart, and then, like, it has no slide barely, it's pretty stiff. And I just noticed, well, they're on backwards. If you guys put your MIPs on like this, crap collects inside of there, because it doesn't go through, right? That's not a open way. Same thing with that one. I bet you when I go to take that off, that's going to be full of crap in there as well. I can't believe the amount of forward and backward slop there is though in that. That's terrible. But yeah, I just wanted to show you that. And then I don't know what kind of shaft this is. I don't recognize. See how the end is different? It's not like a normal MIP unless it's a really old version or something like that. Yeah, this thing's pretty screwed. I'm getting to the point now where I am almost I'm really intrigued about Joe sometimes. Look at that. Put that in the jaw. And it bore a big hole or a groove all the way around the tranny case. Like, Joe, buddy, you build cool stuff and trailers and stuff like that, but oh my god, dude, This thing is rough. I don't know what I got myself into. Okay, so I'm about to crack into the diff. This is the rear, obviously. I guess, is it obvious? Yeah, it's the rear anyways. But that just blows my mind. So, still greased up pretty good. Hardened gears. And some slop side to side, but other than that, those bearings, yeah, they're getting changed. And that's just wild. I wonder if there's supposed to be an E-clip or something on that thing that holds that, because that's just... There's what's left of the bearing inner race and the ball holder. Ball holder. Speaking of balls, there's one. Some more of that out of there. Get that guy out of there. Hey, it looks like a pinion again. Just trying to see the shape of it. What I look for is like snowmanning, I call it, where the bearing has been going round and round on it so much that it actually wears down where the bearing is supposed to sit. And no matter, even with new bearings, it's still sloppy once it gets to that point. But the gears look good, and I can swap out the bearings, put this thing back together, fresh coat of grease, and then I gotta do the look for a new 4-link bar apparently for him. Jesus, Joe, you're rough. Okay, ran into another good one. I don't know how well, or even if, the camera is going to be able to pick it up very well. But right where the pin goes, the pin, if I clean this a bit, the pinhole is rounded out ever so slightly. The shaft is pretty messed up. Actually, I might even see if I have another shaft. Yeah, because now I can't get the bearing over. I could file it down, but that's only going to get worse and eventually just snap that because that hole is getting bigger. That's not good. That's what she said. Okay, back at her again. The one side's in. I've got to get the other lockout put back in. But, yeah, so that shaft is screwed. I was able to find another one in the parts drawer. That one's not bad because I don't run crazy weight and power like Joe does, like big brushless system, heavy, super heavy duty truck. Yeah, so I got a new shaft. Also found somewhere. Well, in this pile of shit, there it is. Nope, that's the broken one. Oh no, I threw it over there. Box of parts. Frame rails. Cross member pieces. Tranny. 2 axles. Shocks. DeWalt motor. Looks like a project, doesn't it? Sure is. So that'll happen soon. I get the energy, and plus I still need electronics that I'm probably going to end up stealing. Where is that 4-link bar? That I'm probably going to end up stealing out of the Wraith. Because it's my least driven vehicle. Every now and then it gets sacrificed for parts. Well, somewhere around here there's a 4-link bar. I was sure of it. You guys have probably seen it already. Right there, you dumbass. There it is. Alright, so we got Joe a 4-link bar. That thing's going in the garbage. Yeah, so a little marine grease on there, get some Loctite. I'm going to test out the screws because the ones I think he had in there were just too short. Excuse me, that's what I'm hoping anyways. Get some longer screws in there, hopefully I can get this together. If not, it'll be a phone call to Joe to find out what he wants to do there. Molly wants to help, but I got a little bit of grease on me. I just can't really pet you right now. You're so pretty though. Okay, cleaned off my hands a bit. There, you can get that stuff out of your eyes and give you a quick petting. Oh, you big baby. Where's your big baby? You're so pretty. You're just so pretty. So I got the new bearings in there. That's nice and smooth and quiet. Doesn't get much better than that. Alright, so touch of Loctite on there. So that little screw on the left, that guy, was what Joe had in the lockouts, and I think they just weren't long enough and stripped half the screws on the axle. So I got a slightly longer screw. As long as it threads up, snugs up, and is not touching the axle shaft, we're golden. Should be anyways. Snugs up. Ah, not quite turning though. Back off a wee little bit. Yeah, so it's just a C hair too long. That's okay. That's what spacers are for. Take that. One of these little guys there. Yeah, so if you're ever on the trail and you lose a screw for like a lockout or a C-hub, where if they're too long, you know it's going to screw up your shaft rotation. Just grab a little spacer and use a longer screw. I actually have that on my boom racing ones because I didn't fully inspect the axles when I got them. I was too excited, so I re-Loctited a couple of the screws. Yeah, that one too. Re-Loctited a couple of the screws, but I didn't do a good enough job. So one of them came out lost on the trail and I didn't have the right length, so I used a longer one and used a wheel nut as a spacer. So yeah, big ugly fix on that guy. Alright, so I'm just going to get these locked up, get her back on the truck, see what I can do about the links, because they're a little screwy. Oh yeah, that's beauty. Alright, we'll do the other side. Loctite, Loctite, Loctite. And we'll get this, the rear end back on the truck and see what else I can tackle tonight. Hey guys. So just plugging away. I figure throw the camera back on for shits and giggles. So, 2 new lower links for Joe. I got 2 metal ones, but they're slightly too long. And then they're also kind of saved for a project. I wouldn't mind giving them to Joe, but bleh. But so, I don't have any more of those, but these seem alright. They're the top ones, right? They're not the ones that get punished really hardcore like the bottom ones. So he's gotten 2 fresh bottom ones. And I got the new screws in there, the screws and lockouts, everything Loctited of course. Those aren't, but I've never had one of those come out. I was just throwing the camera on kind of for this because you kind of learn tricks over the years, right, as you do stuff. And when putting an axle back on, whether it's the lower links, upper links, or shocks, or whatever you want to attach first, depending on the style of the truck and blah blah blah, I always find it easiest to do the 4-link bar first. Just enough so it hits the nylon. So yeah, so I'm just plugging away. Next I'll get these suckers bolted in there. Check on his balls. Those are kind of loose. Time for new balls, Joe. Alright, still plugging away here. We'll get her done. Those are some stiff ass springs, I tell you what. Alright, so anyways, yeah, I'm going to switch the MIP around. That's it for tonight. I'll crack open the tranny in the front tomorrow night, maybe get that done in one crack. I have energy left, it's just my back and neck are killing me from standing here with a GoPro strapped to my forehead. Alright, I'll catch you on the next section. Okay, hey guys. It's been a couple days now since I've touched Joe's rig. That sounds gross almost. So, the front's still to go and the tranny to go. It's got some oddball screws in there. That shaft still doesn't want to come off there, so I'm going to pull the tranny out. That's next on the list. I guess I'm just going to go forward through the truck. I'll leave the front diff till last. Yeah, I guess there's not much more to say than that. I'm digging back into it, and I will turn the camera on if something cool pops up. That didn't take long to find something weird. I don't know what it is with Joe and screws. It looks like they used to be hex heads, and then he cut slots into them to get the motor in there. You know what? I think I'm just going to leave that as is, and I'm just going to leave it on the plate. The mesh, this is good enough. This metal spur gear looks like the teeth are getting thin, but I never saw it when it was new, so I don't know how far along it is. But I still can't get that bugger off. Get a tool on there. Now, for those of you who are more experienced at this than others, if you've rebuilt numerous trannies, I'm starting to think, well, it is an axial. But I don't see any of my stuff rust up like that. The shaft is all dinged up. I don't know how well you can see that there. I didn't check the camera pitch before I started, but it should be good, I think. Yeah, so the shaft is kind of rounded there from the shaft rotating on it. I don't know how much longer that's going to last before it goes. This side was a bugger to get off because it was so rusty, but if you look at that, there's like no play. Solid. You get the top, solid. Like feels like all the bearings are like not exploded, right? But holy crap, try and turn that thing. Jesus Christ, I don't know what's going on there. So I'm curious to see what's inside because, again, I don't see my stuff rust up like that. So I don't know whose gears he's got inside here. But they are not, I don't think they're in very good shape. This, oh yeah, I was trying different shape. I'm like, why doesn't that fit? Had an 8mm on there from something else. Oh yeah, I did take the motor off. If I could unscrew it, I'll replace the screws anyways. Should be good. Should be done. Nothing in this truck wants to come apart nicely. I have to get Joe a bottle of marine grease for his next birthday or something. Yeah, that thing is solid as a rock, guys. I can barely turn that. Curious. Very curious to find out what's inside. Yeah, fuck it. Pardon. That guy. No, that can stay there. Kind of doing this one half-assed, like live uncut type thing, because again, very curious to see what's inside. I'm sure a couple of you guys are too. Come on. I gotta get that thing off there. Gently. That wasn't bad. Spacer. Looks dry. Top doesn't want to separate at all. Come on. I bet you the bearings are going to be really fun getting out of this thing. Come on. Oh God. That is like super dry in there. Caked with crap. That is just messed up. Nothing wants to move because everything's all rusted and sealed together. It's Mother Nature's Loctite. Look at that thing. Wrecked him. Look at that crap coming out of there. Dust and rust. Oh, the pin moves. Nice. Can't believe those bearings come off that easy. I'm pretty happy about that. Those I figured were going to be the worst. all the wreck stuff over there. There it goes. Well, most of it just exploded. Uh-oh. Oh well. I can get that out too. Alright, so I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to re-grease everything and still use everything. It doesn't look like any of the gears are destroyed because none of the bearings blew up. Everything just rusted up inside. That's where all his resistance was coming from. He said he was having heat issues even with that big ass motor. I know why. It took me a lot longer to do that thing up than I expected. I actually had to get the file out and file the where the one piece goes on there because it was pretty rough. Smooth there. Biggest, and this is the first time I had to clean rust out of a T-case. That's awesome. Well guys, I kind of screwed up. I went ahead and kind of finished without doing much more filming. Joe actually stopped by. He's just gone to the store to grab cigars. Don't smoke, it's stupid, as you can hear. Sorry. Anyway, so Joe popped over, showed him about the tranny. It's in much better condition now. I switched the MIPs around. The rear's completely rebuilt. The front I just did the knuckles and seat, or in the knuckles. The pinion's great. It's solid as a rock. The diff makes no noise. Again, I'm sorry for not having the GoPro on. Joe was over and we're just talking, shooting shit. And just so you know, the high mass boom wheels, you hold the 4 tires in one hand, the truck in the other. The tires outweigh the entire vehicle. It's insane. They're so heavy. So if you're looking for that kind of thing, go get them. Oh, pardon. Feel better. Yeah, so that's about it. So yeah, that was an interesting rebuild, except for the front diff. Again, it looked great, or felt great. So Joe should be good to go, but he's going to wreck it quick. I'll let him plug in his own motor wires, because I can't remember which one was which, and it doesn't really matter anyways. Mesh is good, tranny rebuilt, all full of marine grease. Alright, any questions, leave them below. Again, I'm sorry, but thanks for watching.